Brawlhalla is in a weird place right now. A lot of notable people from the community have either taken a break or left Brawlhalla entirely, and some people who haven't left aren't happy with certain decisions that have been made. First things first, I want to say the same thing that I said in the beginning of the second crossover video that I did. Please do not yell at the devs. A lot of people are using this as an opportunity to just hate and not give valid criticism. You have to remember that Blue Mammoth Games is a whole studio, not just one or two people. And you also have to remember that BMG works under Ubisoft, which also influences the game. As you can see, with the only two crossovers that are actual characters are Rayman and Ezio, which if you didn't know are from different Ubisoft games. But this video isn't about that. In fact, I started working on this probably 2 months prior, but I think the timing kind of lined up perfectly because I want to remind people why they started playing Brawlhalla in the first place. And I think the best way to do that is to ask people from the community who've been here for years one simple question. Okay, maybe not that simple, but how has Brawlhalla impacted you?
Hello, I'm Stefanifro. I'm mostly known for my montages, my guides, and my incredibly cringy parody songs that I beg of you to never engage with, for obvious reasons. So my relationship with Brawlhalla is... Okay, you know how they have like those little milk creamer cups at restaurants, like for your coffee? It's like those. Like, they look really small and lame and stupid. You don't expect this experience to amount to much. But then you try them, and it's actually like really good. And so you just kind of, you just start chugging them, one after the other. Now you're hooked on them. For some reason, you just can't get enough. Then you actually start paying for them. They were free, but you gotta try the other flavors, right? So what does any sensible person do in this situation? They go to the internet, and they talk about it, they share it. You start a blog about the different creamers, the different flavors, French vanilla, Italian sweet cream, the original. People think it's weird, but you get comments. Then you start a community of creamer a cream-unity. You found your niche. This is my experience with Brawlhalla.
On my side of things, the way Brawlhalla has impacted me is pretty huge. The game has not only impacted me money-wise, but has also impacted my friendships and my mental as well, not only in-game, but in real life as well. Inexperienced players might think that the whole saying of having good mental is a joke or just very simple to understand and implement, but you don't know how difficult it is to achieve and get to that point of mentality. Me personally, I grew up with the game. At this point of time, I've been playing the game for like 6+ years, and you don't know how much it impacts your real life as well. I've been through a whole lot of raging, a whole lot of sadness, happiness, angriness, all those emotions in game. You don't know how much they can impact your in real life mood as well. And the reason it impacts you is because you're very dedicated at the game, and that's me. I was very dedicated at the game and I wanted to get better. And what I learned from that is not only how to be good at the game, but I also matured and I learned a lot because of Brawlhalla and its community. Much love to everyone in this community and outside of it as well.
Brawlhalla has allowed me to actually try this as a career, and when I mean this, I mean competition and content creation, and so far I've loved it. Now, who knows the longevity of it? In the end, the goal is to, use Brawlhalla and what I've been able to build to vault me into variety and not have to rely on this one thing. But I guess if you wanted to, like, the TLDR version is, it essentially gave me a career, at least for the time being it has.
Brawlhalla has given me a creative outlet in my commentary. It's let me express myself creatively in ways that I otherwise wouldn't have. Because of Brawlhalla, I've been able to travel to new places and meet all kinds of new people that otherwise I wouldn't have. It's let me foster friendships that I had before Brawlhalla and make brand new friendships along the way with some of the people that I'm now closest to in my life. The video game itself is really just a vehicle that helped me develop so many other parts of my life, personally, professionally, and creatively. But really, it just lets me farm lol W's on Twitter, and that's the most important part.
Well, for me, Brawlhalla started as just a game I could play with my Spanish friends every now and then. I'd only play custom games since any kind of matchmaking was boring for me. I always like to start with custom games when I learn a new game anyway, but yeah, it was just a way to waste time. But if I'm honest, Brawlhalla impacted me the most by presenting me to a new cool passion or hobby, which are team combos. I would spend hours and hours practicing them because it was genuinely fun. I thought not many people would find them as entertaining as I did, but after creating a channel as some sort of library for them, I was proven wrong, and Brawlhalla managed to impact me in yet another way, with a new community, and even financially, since I can actually make money from doing what I love.
Brawlhalla, its devs, and its community have almost single-handedly driven me to become the content creator I am today. From lore nerd to Brawlhalla partner to recognizable personality, I have been extremely humbled by the enormous impact Brawlhalla has had on me. Because of Brawlhalla, my creative and social skills expanded exponentially. Because of Brawlhalla, I have become much more aware of esports and gaming news and issues in general. Because of Brawlhalla, I've made and done things I can be very proud of. I came for the lore in the game, but I stay for the people who make and play the game. No matter what happens to the game, as long as there's an active, passionate community, I am proud to be part of it.
So Brawlhalla drastically changed my life. It allowed me to meet a lot of people that I consider lifelong friends that I hope to keep in touch with even after I stop playing the game, which is probably gonna happen eventually, but I'm not looking forward to that at all. It gave me an opportunity to connect to an audience on the Twitch live streaming website. It gave me so many opportunities. I could travel to another continent. I visited America, I visited France, I visited the Netherlands just because of this 2D fighting game, which is really crazy to think about. It also completely shifted my financial situation. I went from not eating every day to being able to afford food whenever I want to. I can literally just rely on the game for financial support. It allowed me to pay for my studies, for my university studies, which is really insane as well. I'm really thankful to this game. I'm really thankful to the game's community mainly. The devs who created the game and the devs who keep working on the game. It's by far the most drastic thing that actually changed my life. So I love Brawlhalla. I love Brawlhalla.
Brawlhalla has impacted me in more ways than I think I can put into words. I mean, looking at the trajectory of my life, Brawlhalla has been such a huge part of it these past 5-6 years, not just in terms of external situations. Of course, making videos is something that I wasn't doing at the start of that, at the very least publishing them to the public and having a kind of individual voice, but also just inner things like discipline and facing anxieties, fears, perfectionism, and really pushing yourself to improve at something for no other reason than just wanting to do it yourself. Brawlhalla has really opened the door for me for that. It's also allowed me to recognize other people as fully functioning people with lives that are just as deep, just as emotional, just as enthralling and just real as mine. And I think fighting games really is an opportunity to discover that. People talk about this a lot in individual sports like tennis or like chess, but it also really is the case in video games. But yeah, I mean, I started playing this game when I was, 6 years old, so 5 years later now, I'm definitely a very, very different person. And I never really thought to myself that I'm going to do this and I'm going to become someone that people will tune into. And you really can't conceptualize, put your head around the number of people, but it still is really cool, and it's all because of Brawlhalla. It's all thanks to this community. I've also met some of my best friends over the past bunch of years through this community. Really genuine people. I think, especially when it was really small, the interaction between the devs and the community was something extremely special. Something that I think they still try to hold on to as best as they can now that it's a bigger studio and now that the community is, of course, way, way bigger. But it gave me this huge, huge avenue into discovering just the different facets of me, what makes me as a person, and it's pretty cool. It allowed me to grow, not just as a player, of course, but really, and I genuinely mean this, as a person. Butterfly effect kind of deal. I installed it completely on a whim, and I'm very happy that I did.
Well, I guess it wouldn't make sense for me not to answer the question myself, so if you've been a part of this channel for a while, you know that Brawlhalla has basically built my channel. But the funny part is it kind of wasn't on purpose. I didn't make my channel with the mindset of making Brawlhalla content. I actually started off playing Minecraft just like everyone else. It was really fun. I did that for a while. I played with my friends, uploaded videos with my friends. My friends also had Minecraft channels too. So I did that probably for about, I want to say 2 years or something like that. Obviously, it didn't go anywhere because everyone wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber. And then one day, my friends introduced me to this game called Brawlhalla. It was free to play on Steam. It was easy to access, so you know what? Why not? I started playing and I realized that I really sucked at the game. So yeah, that drive to sort of just beat them is kind of what made me keep playing the game. And so while I was practicing and stuff like that, I started making videos on the game. Those videos did better than my Minecraft videos. So obviously I started posting more Brawlhalla stuff. And eventually it became the only game I played at one point. Now after my main goal of beating my friends was, complete, I still wanted to play the game. Because now that those Brawlhalla videos started to do well, I started meeting more people. Like a lot of people from my Discord I've known for a couple years now. So yeah, I didn't really plan to, make Brawlhalla my main game, but I'm really glad it happened.